Good to see everybody. So injury update. We have Darnell Wright will not be out there today. He's got dealing with a back. It's day to day. So he will not be out there today, but we're hopeful that he'll work through it. As you know, Smitty was with the hip. He's still out, and then DT Taylor is not going to be there. He's got illness today. He came in. Medical staff looked at him. He was ill, sick, and then they sent him home, so he won't be out there today for that. On the good news side of it, Keenan's back on the field today. He'll be listed as limited, so he'll be working through some drills, doing some different things out there. He was working over the weekend and all that stuff with the rehab group, so that's looking good as we go. We'll see where it progresses as we go. In terms of the questions of the offensive line with Darnell being out, it's during training camp, we worked our different options that we have there, and I think it's important that we utilize that flexibility for some people. So I think that, again, without saying too much, obviously we're hopeful he comes back, but we'll work those combinations during practice today as we go forward through the week, and we'll see where it is tomorrow. And then we'll just keep adjusting from there and go from that. So it's good to be back on the grass today with the guys. They had a couple days rest there. They came back in pretty good shape in terms of health of the football team, so we feel good where that is. Again, continuing to work on all aspects of the game, improving in this early part of the season, building on things that we've done well so far, and then obviously improving on the things that we need to improve on. And that's all comes down to what we do on the grass, as I always say. We're playing a good football team. This is a good football team, had a big comeback win. Did what they needed to do to win the game. You guys all saw the end of that game and to come out victorious there. So we know it's a good football team, and they stress you in a lot of different ways going forward there. So again, excited to be back at home, in front of our fans at Soldier Field. The guys are excited about that part of it, and so with that, I'll take questions.
With Keenan back, how important is it for you guys to get production from some of these veterans that you brought in? Keenan, Swift, Everett. I imagine that their appeal was to get Caleb up on his feet and help him. And through the first 3 games, those numbers aren't probably what you want.
Yeah, I mean, look at last game though. We had some distribution. We got some good distribution there, so we're building on the positives there. So and Keenan's a big part of that. He's another weapon that we have available to us on the offense with a unique set of skills. As you know, we've all seen him play, so we're excited if that comes about. He comes back.
Is this something that you're going to have to monitor all year long?
We hope not. We hope not. We hope it's something that's going to get better and stay better, and we're hopeful of that.
I think in the process of sort of refining and defining what you do offensively, what does that look like week to week in terms of the back and forth between coaches and players and communicating comfort level and preferences and all those things?
That's of the utmost importance, right? Communication. So working with the guys in terms of skill sets, in terms of communicating what they like, what works, building off of stuff that you've done the week before. Because it can't look the same every week. Putting guys in different positions so you can shake them free in terms of the pass routes. I think that's all important, but the communication is where it is, and the guys have done a great job over the last 48 hours communicating that. And continue to do so, and also in the run game. The run game is the same thing. What do our guys do well? Where can we shift to who, when, and where is doing what in terms of the run game, and that's with the blocking and the running. I think that's an important thing to always take a look at.
Now, with Pryor, did you see enough from him to want to keep him at right guard this week?
Yeah, we thought that Pryor did a nice job. I mean, you guys all watched the tape. That was firm in the pocket, did a nice job blocking. At times, and had a couple of plays that he wished he had back, but for the most part, did a nice job there.
Last week you said that. Last week you talked about Pryor saying he improved greatly throughout since training camp. What areas did you see the most progress in, and how would you kind of assess it?
Yeah, first of all, his attitude is great. He's a great teammate. He works well with Darnell right next to him. I think that's a good partnership there. That's what we saw, and then learning the offense. And always being firm in the pocket. He's a real good athlete for his size. So I think that's firmness in there is good for the quarterback, and also just his run blocking. He can move people on some double teams, some single blocks, and I just think he did a really good job improving, and learning the way we do it.
Will Pryor stay at right guard this week, or are you having to look at him at right tackle?
Well, he's the guy that we have flexibility with, right? He's got some flexibility, so that's what we have to work through. We have to see where we are. That was talking about in the opener, in terms of where we need to flex and move around based on the health of Darnell.
How's Karan look, and is he a legitimate option at right tackle?
Yeah, Karan's looked really good. He is one of our options, and he's looked good. He's continuing to improve. He's a guy that's super smart. He doesn't, in terms of the mentals, and the technique is just keeping improving every single week, and we're working hard to get him there.
Man, when you're coming off a game where by your own acknowledgement there are coaching issues, do you just figure that's kind of a one-off, will be better the next time? Or do you take stock of what you're doing and consider that maybe something needs to be tweaked? Or, how do you handle a situation where you're coming off a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's we all saw it as a couple things that we need to clean up, and we got to get better at. So we have to look at and evaluate, what and how, and what the process of doing, and that's what we did the last couple of days, and that's every week. There's every week there's certain things that don't come out, that's way out in the open, like those certain things were. There's issues every week that you got to deal with that that no one saw. And so you got to make sure that you're always working through that with your coaches and with the players.
Matt, DeAndre Swift was pretty disappointed in himself on Sunday, just kind of the first 3 weeks. Can you pinpoint what's gone wrong for him and why he hasn't been as effective as a rusher?
Yeah, I think rushing the ball is everybody thing. It's kind of like protection. We got to create the holes for everybody. We got to move people. The scheme's got to be right. For that particular runner. So I just think it's everybody. It's not just him. I know he's very hard on himself, and and I always tell the guys it's good to be hard on yourself, but you also got to be encouraging too, and you got to go out there and perform. You're the performer. So he's done a good job of that. He came in a couple days ago and was talking to everybody about what he needs to do better, and we just sat down and had a chat with him.
Matt, the interception that Caleb threw on the left sideline, was that he was throwing for Carter?
Okay.
Is that a continuation of him adjusting to the speed of NFL defenders and recognizing that it's when you see something, it's only going to be there for a split second?
Yeah, I don't think so on that particular one. That's just throwing late on the side. There was after a couple hitches there. It's got to be a one hitch and ball out. Maybe two hitch. There was a couple more in there, and then it was late to the sideline. So that's, he knows we can't do that because now it's going to be in harm's way, and that's really over the middle or on the side. That's where you get in trouble.
Mac, going back to Courtney's question about Swift, you said you met with him and there are ways he can be better. So as a runner, what are those ways? Is it vision? Is it patience?
Yeah, it was with the offensive coaches. They met with those guys in terms of fundamentals, technique, the partnership of that, and really it's pressing the hole, really creating that for the offensive line, not coming out too fast and really pressing the hole and then making your cuts off of there and pressing the line of scrimmage. And that was the main thing.
When you see from the Rams defense early on that leaves an impression on you?
Yeah, the two outside rushers. You see that, versus obviously, a high pick, high energy, really good run blocker or run stuffer, hard to block in the run game, high energy. So their front stands out to me the most, So the two edge rushers, Robinson inside, I think he's a good player in terms of like him being able to own his gap, but also be able to rush the passer. So, and they create some different looks. They're an odd structure team. They're getting under, they're getting some odd looks and different things and pressures and operate out of the shell at certain times. And but that's what I see overall in terms of what they bring.
First, what left an impression on you when you got to know him during the pre-draft process? Obviously?
Yeah, I really like the man. You could tell he's gonna be a good pro and gonna have a long career in the NFL. He'll be a leader of that group and of his football team. You could definitely see that. High energy, brings a lot of light, to the building when he was here, and so yeah, high class, world class guy.
You alluded to flexibility with a guy like Pryor, Karan is an option. It seems like there's openness for competition on the offensive line. Is that kind of what you're wanting, is to kind of create this kind of press in some of these guys to pick up their game a little bit?
Yeah, we're looking for the best five. And again, we don't want musical chairs in there. We're not at that point. We want guys to solidify themselves in there by their performance and then keep going in terms of the consistency, having week after week performing at a high level. So that's what we're searching for. It's early in the season. We're looking for that. And, some of the guys are doing that. We just got to keep pressing the whole group to do it.
Now, when it comes to
Sean McVay, you guys hired people directly out of his coaching tree. this year. What specifically about Sean McVay do you admire or respect in the way that he calls an offense?
Yeah, the pace. I think he has great pace to the offense. He gets plays in and out fast, so you got to be able to operate at a fast level in terms of the execution. Um, you know, the most motions in football. So there's a cross the ball motion prior to, and then on the snap. So he's looking at your gap integrity there in terms of your defense, and your communication. If you are communicating in terms of the coverage, the back end part of it. So that's where it is, and very good in situations. Very good in the short yard situations, red area situations. So, and he's done a great job in 2 minutes. So couple that with the quarterback that he has to operate that offense. It's good. I know they're down weapons and all that stuff, but again, they found a way to move the ball effectively. Last week, and to get the victory. So yeah.
When it comes to like how fast Caleb's processing and what the protection can execute, are those synced up to what your liking is for that?
It's a work in progress. It's not totally all the way there after the 3 games, but it's getting better. It's getting better. I do think that last week was way improved in terms of the whole operation, in terms of the protection, in terms of in and out of the huddle, all the things that go along with just basic operation, and that's improved. And he's going to continue to improve. And we're working through that. And again, we want to see some big improvement this week too.
Man, how delicate of a balance is that to want to give Caleb a consistent picture, but also want to make sure that you're giving him the best situation, not want to make changes in that regard?
Well, I think you got to adjust and move. You got to adjust and change. Meaning your offense needs to adjust and change, but the concepts need to stay the same. In terms of dressing it up with formations and the way you're moving your protection. I think that needs to adjust every single week with how you're presenting to the defense. You have to do that. So it can't just be that of a simple of an answer. So you got to be able to do that, and our offensive coaches are doing that. And we got a good plan this week, and again, we're going to work the first and second down plan today, and then work from there.